Hi and welcome to my flip through of Junk Journal January. I used this junk journal that I made myself. I have a video on how I made this, so you can look for that on my channel if you're interested to see. Now you see it is bulging. It is way too chunky. I mean, I love chunky journals, but this is kind of out of hand, I think. So learning from me, knowing myself, I'm always gonna put a lot of stuff on pages, so I need to calculate that in when I make my next one. So I just wanted to give you a very quick flip through. I don't want to keep you long. In here in the front I have the Junk Journal January prompts from Mia Vibes and Meg Journals, and I'm just gonna take these out so I can reference it more easily when I go through the book. So I didn't do them in order, so I just chose a page, whatever I felt would work for the spread I wanted to do, which was the first time for me. I always used to go chronologically, but yeah, I wanted to try it differently and I really liked it, so I might do that again. So the first page is actually not a prompt. This is a very quick page I did when I was in Istanbul on vacation a few days in January with my hubby. And this is just a receipt from a cafe, and I just added a stamp and a doodle and some rub-ons. And the background, the watercolors I had with me, but I had forgotten my water brush, so I used a Q-tip actually and a cup of water in the hotel room to make this background, and I must say I really love how it turned out. This one was, yeah, as you can see, the prompt was grateful, and I forgot to put the date. It was January 10th. I added a lovely thank you card from an ex-colleague of mine and a cute little bird pin from my friend Emma. We've been exchanging a few letters, so I wanted to keep that there. This one is actually not the quote prompt. This is the prompt for photo. So what I did was I found this quote that I really loved: relationship status committed to inner peace, growth, self-love, and gratitude, which I have found on Instagram. And I took a screenshot, which I then printed out on my camera. So that's why I think this counts as photo. And these images are from Daphne's diary, and I really love this spread. The colors, totally me. This one, January 4th, was no washi or stickers, so that was quite easy. Just wrote a little something here. Here's nothing. Here's one I did in December. I actually started this junk journal like end of December, not knowing that I was gonna do the January challenge. So it has a little bit of a mixture in here, but so I think this might have been my first spread actually. Then this was again another page I did when I was in Istanbul, and then I completed the spread with this side when we had the prompt travel, which was January 25th, and I'm not a huge fan of this, but yeah, can't love every spread, right? Then we have January 14th was paper samples, and I just sewed this little, I don't know what you want to call it, card or whatever, together, and the samples are actually here on the belly band, just some papers that I love using at the moment. I just sewed those on. This was the prompt was friendship for January 26th, and I made a very simple spread, and with a quote saying, friends are like flowers, a pleasure to gather and a treasure to keep. And here there's some empty ones. This is again a December one, December 27th. There is way too much going on here. I don't even know what the theme is. Yeah, I kind of just went overboard, sticking things down. I was excited to work in my first junk journal ever, so I think I just stuck stuff down. This one I love very much. It was the prompt for something I almost threw away from January 12th. I love the color scheme of this, and this beautiful bird picture was from a paper bag I had received in a stationery store with something I bought. And here I just wrote the joy of repurposing paper scraps with some sari silk. I really, really love this one. Then this one was January 8th, something new, which was this little card that I had gotten from AliExpress. And I wanted the contrast of something old, so I wanted to combine it with this postcard which I had gotten from the flea market. And also this background is from 1926 from a gardener's journal. I just made a little pocket with a cutout of a doily from Joanna Clow. Oh no, sorry. I think her name is pronounced Clough. So sorry about that. Moving on, there's nothing here. Then this one was the food diary, January 5th, and I really think she's so cute. And what I did is I attached this envelope, and inside I have a food log of, I think 1.5 years ago or so, when I was eating so well, that I wanted to add that one to motivate me to get back to that. Yeah, I haven't really made that, but yeah, I'm still hoping. So this one was January 28th, Cuteness Overload, and we have a very cute cutout of Peter Rabbit that I had received in a Happy Mail from Vienna Apple Pie. Just added some fabric bits here and a stamp. Then this one was, I think this was a prompt about the favorite read, or current read, and so I did a collage. Yes, it's January 23rd. I did a collage because my book is Honolulu, and so I just wanted to use an ocean theme and an excuse to make a collage. This is another collage I made. There's no date on it, but I believe this was the first collage I had done, and I really like it. I actually like both of these a lot. Yeah, became a little bit collage obsessed there. Then this was January 6th, Piece of Nature. So I wanted to include this beautiful printed card that I had received from someone, and just added a piece of nature and a little bee there. Background is done with gelatos. Nothing here. This was the spread for favorite supplies for January 30th, and this is all from Daphne's diary, and I just put a list of my favorite supplies back here. I really, really love this. Come on. Yeah. This one was January 10th, Gratitude, and I just dedicated this to my mom. Then this was the last one. This was January 31st, Letter to Myself, which I wrote back here. Just adding a fabric pocket and a button. This one was January 16th, Neutral Shades, which was right up my alley because I love neutral shades, so that was very nice to do. I enjoyed that a lot. This was a December one, no theme, so just playing around. This was the tea log of January 7th, where I used the Alice in Wonderland theme and just putting 3 tea tags here as a tag. Then this is another one I did in Istanbul on January 9th, where I just made a sketch of a mosque, and I added this beautiful vintage Well, it's not really vintage, it's made to look like vintage postcard. So then this is the one for January 22nd, which was the floral theme. Again, using something from Daphne's Diary, and this is from an old floral book I found at the flea market. Sewed on a button. This one was December 31st, so no prompt, just a note to self, relax. Now there's nothing here. This was Make a Pocket, January 18th. So I made like a double pocket out of an envelope that goes around the page. I actually never used the other side. So in one I stuck this little dog, and in the other one I had this collage card that I made. Next we have another December one, no theme, just be kind. This is again from Vienna Apple Pie, from her wonderful Happy Mail. This one was January 13th, which was watercolor. So I again made a watercolor background, very simple. And then just added this Change Hope Life, which was the which is what the butterfly is a symbol for. Then I made another collage, January 27th. Too much stamping was the quote, and I just changed it to too many stamps. So I have a lot of stamps in here. Really enjoy this color combination. It's something I would never use, these colors, but I really like it. And we have another collage, which was for the 24th. The prompt was memory, and I justified this collage by thinking about the memory I had of my dad, because we used to sit together in the afternoons, especially in winter, and soak the stamps to then put them in albums. So using the stamps here took me back to that. This was January 3rd. Prompt was brown bag or paper. So I tried to use a lot of brown papers that I had in my scraps. Added a little dragonfly here. This was envelope, which was January 9th. And I made this envelope using a tutorial that I have linked in the video for this. And it's just a different style of making a very, very simple yet very effective envelope with a nice closure. I love this. And inside I just put a little, like a, I don't know, like a diary entry, I guess you can say. So that is that. Next we have this one, which is January 11th. I was again in Istanbul. That was our last day, and I didn't have a lot of supplies at hand, so I just did a a doodle. And on the background again I did one of the watercolors with the Q-tips because I didn't have the brush. This one doesn't have a date on it, but was the one for Recreate a Spread, January 29th, which I didn't really do. I just made another collage, but I must say I love this collage so much. Another collage, I think there was no prompt for this. I just really enjoyed it. This one was January 2. The prompt was important birthdays, which I didn't really want to do, so I just did whatever, and I really enjoyed this again. Using, again, a watercolor background and just some scraps and stamping and a quote. It's not even a quote, it's just words. And then we have this one, January 15th, is poem. So I added this and yeah, wrote the poem inside, put some fabric on this side. And then we have December 29th, again, no prompt, just something random I did, I guess. Then we have January 11th, song lyrics, which I also didn't do, I just put here trust your journey, watercolor background again, and just wrote something there. And lastly, this was January 1, favorite quotes, and I put here never let the things you want to make you forget the things you have. And I just put it in this card that I had received from a colleague that I wanted to keep, and that is it. That's the book done. So now for February, I've been thinking about what I can do, because I do have other journals I am working in, but not in this style. I'm like writing more. So I thought I probably will make another junk journal, but hopefully I will do, like, make it better than this one in terms of not filling it up as much. And I won't do all the February prompts. I know there's some out there now, again, from Mia Vibes. I forget what they're called. If I find them, I will link them in the description below. So I will make another junk journal, and I probably will do that on camera. But I think I won't bind it this time. I think I might take my wonderful cinch and make a spiral binding, just to see what that would be like. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and hope you enjoyed this. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.